for example. Just the most recent, just
Sure.
because it's fresh in our minds. Peyton Hillis. Great performance, week 9. It's the only time we've ever heard of this guy. No one knows who he is. He has a great week 9 game. Johnny's picking him up on Tuesday.
He does a lot for the Denver community,
he does,
too.
Sure.
I don't know if you knew that. But with
So what I'm looking at, though, is I'll look at Daniel Graham. Tony Gonzalez is on a bye. Tony Scheffler's hurt. So I've got no tight ends. I'm struggling. What do? I pick up a starting tight end. And if you look, just the 1 week I got him, he performed, scored a touchdown for me.
Well, I think he just scored a touchdown last week, too. And like Kevin Walter just scored a touchdown today. He had 2 touchdowns the day you dropped him. You dropped Ray Rice, and he had 150 yards the next week for the Divas.
Yep.
I'm just...
One-time shot. So I'll tell you, Edgerrin James I just dropped because he's no longer a starter. I've got Tim Hightower now who's starting for the...
A-Dogs have Edgerrin James right now.
He'll never use him.
A-Dogs won't?
Well,
okay.
He will not.
Maybe week 12 when he plays you.
Maybe. I'd encourage that.
Okay.
Let's see. Steve Breston. That's another a great pickup. As soon as Anquan Bolden got hurt, I jumped on that and got him, and I rode him through Anquan Bolden's injury, and he produced great. And he's still a good wide receiver 3, but I didn't have room for him on my roster. The entire time, it's a bowl. It's like you're making cookies, and you got to add the right ingredients.
Gotcha.
So I finally got there now. So if you look at my roster, Jay Cutler, Tim Hightower, Brian Westbrook, Lee Evans, Santana Moss, Tony Gonzalez or Tony Scheffler. Almost all of my guys are at least top 10, if not top 5. Even my kicker, Prater, are all in the top 10 of their respective positions. Every single offensive player.
This could make you a very tough team to beat in the playoffs.
Could. It's already there.
We're going to talk about the playoffs in just a second, but we're going to dive in real quick to a little bit of smack talk.
All right.
Okay? Earlier in the year, you had some go-arounds with Derek Moshan from the Bitch Magnet. Yep. You guys haven't talked as much. I don't know if he's had computer access. Eric's a busy man. But he did call you...
I gave him some props.
Yeah, you did give him some props. He did call you a cupcake, though.
You called me a cupcake?
Yeah. He said easy cupcake.
Oh, when I called it bitch.
Yeah.
I think you took offense to that, but it's really just because of your team name.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's the bitch magnet, so...
So you never...
I just said bitch, yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Not like he's the bitch, it's just bitch magnet, you're the bitch. That's...
Your underbelly is a little cupcake-ish.
It's soft.
It is soft. Squeezable. For the ladies, gentle. It is. It's soft. Now, how about recently with the go-arounds with Aaron Lennon? Aaron said that you are... And I'm just shortening up, I'm taking it a little out of context, but he said you're not better than anybody. And then he went on to talk about how you're acting smart because you're doing a lot of posts.
Yeah.
And
then I was going to correct him a little bit because,
okay.
I think Aaron's an educated guy. Sounds like he's got a pretty good job.
Yeah, computer guy.
Yeah. But the correct pronunciation was anyone, but not anybody.
Yeah. Norman's really big into grammar on the message.
I figured Norman would catch it, but I just let that go.
Yeah.
But I thought I replied back fairly intelligently.
I noticed you call him Top Dog.
Top Dog, yeah.
What's the reason behind that?
It's hard to explain. It just comes to me. So I just thought, he's trying.
He could make the playoffs this year.
I think he's maybe lacking a little self-confidence, so I'm just trying to give him that extra added boost.
I see.
To bump, because that's what you need to be successful.
That's nice of you to help out other league members that way. Aaron Lennon gave me this shirt. What do you think? Oh, birthday present. Wore it for you.
It's pink.
Oh, real men can do that. Just showing you that I'm confident in myself.
That's good.
Yeah. Trying to rub it off on you a little bit. How do you think you did on that trade, by the way? Lee Evans, Matt Ryan.
It will. It's a gamble.
You got Seneca Wallace too. I don't know how much longer he's going to be starting.
I drop him if I could pick up. If there was another quarterback to pick up. But I'm essentially the Seneca Wallace piece. I'm never going to use. I was never going to use Matt Ryan other than the bye week. I'm never going to use Seneca Wallace.
Yeah.
The gamble is Cutler. Cutler gets hurt. I am fucked. Excuse my language.
In the ass.
Yeah. Well, maybe not so much that, but if Cutler gets hurt, I'm in trouble.
That's
and
the way
I'm
Robbie
picking
likes
up
it.
a backup somewhere. But that's my gamble. If he stays healthy, I've got two. I now have. It's taken me to week 10 to get 2 number 1 wide receivers. I now have them.
Could be tough. Now looking ahead, and let's say you hold on, you beat Jen, and you go up by 4, maybe 5 games. Robbie's losing as well. Looks like the rest of the division's fading.
Yep.
You're going to be the number 1 seed, and you're going to face a lottery team. Last year, the lottery teams were 2-0 in the first round. Actually, 2-0 in the second round too. The Spades, Wang and Tang both made that historical North Idaho Fantasy Football League run to the championship. Right now, the lottery teams would be the Divas, Katie Peck's team, which has lost 8 of 10. They're 8-8. Dr. Mo, Jason Moshan's team, 5-11. They've made the playoffs all 3 years, but quarterback problems there. Orton and Orkowski both got hurt last week. Smear the Queers, James Chapman's team, which was 17-7 last year. He lost Tom Brady at the beginning of the year, 5-11, but he's won 4 in a row. Flacco's coming on there. He's also got. He still has Adrian Peterson and Ronnie Brown. And the Privateers, 5-11. Russ has had some problems with injuries. He's lost 9 straight. And Ed Doucet, the master, 4-12, kind of getting a little better. Who would you want to face? Who would you not want to face there?
Man, as confident as I am, and I think I've got a great team, but I think even the bitch said it. Week in and week out, anybody can beat anybody. It's all about, there's a lot of luck, you know, this Rosenfeld to Kevin Walter stuff, that's just freakish.
Is it?
Freakish. It's not consistent. It's not consistent.
I don't know. Rosenfeld throws a lot of deep balls.
But anybody in any given week can beat anyone. It's just look at the Spades run last year.
Yeah,
it can happen.
But if you had to pick, and
I had to pick,
and James Chapman was the one who lost to the Spades last year, and I'm sure he would have said, "Hey, give me Robbie's team. That's the team I want." But if you had to pick one team, I mean, if let's say you were the number 1 seed and you got to pick, if that was the league rule, who would you like? That's the team I want.
I'd have to go back and look at the rosters, but from what I remember, Ed Doucet is pretty weak.
He's got
his roster's fairly weak, so.
He's got a lot of quarterback problems there. I know he's got. He had JT O'Sullivan for a while. Derek Anderson. A lot of these guys aren't even playing anymore.
Right.
So Ed may be the guy.
Yeah.
Any of those teams that you wouldn't want to face?
Well, the Divas can be. Correct me if I'm wrong. Does she have? Who's her quarterback?
Drew Brees, number 1 quarterback, and she's had Reggie Bush out for the last 3 or 4 weeks.
But Reggie Bush is coming back.
Yeah.
And by playoff time, he'll be back. So probably not the Divas. Diva went on a what? A 6-0.
They were 6-0. Katie was 6-0, number 1, very happy, and now it's been sad times.
So potentially dangerous. One of those teams that any given week, I'd be maybe a little nervous.
Now in the other division, I still lead 12-4. I'm struggling a little this week with the Rocks, and I'm Dr. Mo. I'm behind in both games.
But that you haven't checked since that Roosevelt.
Sure. Maverick and Iceman 10-6. Chris Pickens has won 8 straight games, and they're up big again. They're up 75-27 on the Masters, 75-2 over the Brew Crew. He's yet to have even Kurt Warner go. Chris has won 8 in a row. At the beginning of the season, I liked Chris's team a lot. He started 2-6, and I still said, you know, even with the odds that came out, I'm like, Pickens has got a tough team.
Mm-hmm.
He added Thomas Jones, got rid of Brett, and Jamal Lewis, who sits on the bench behind Maurice Jones-Drew. We looked at his wide receivers before we came on: Calvin Johnson, Brandon Marshall, Kevin Walter. He looks like a very, very tough team.
Yep.
I would have to imagine this might be the team that you do not want to face in the championship if you make it that far.
Well, if he's the best team, I'd rather beat the best.
Oh.
I would rather beat the best.
challenge is out there then.
Yeah.
Another team that you...
Wouldn't that be great? Cutler and Brandon Marshall going against each other in the Super Bowl.
That would be an interesting game to watch, definitely for that. And Denver's probably going to be still playing for a playoff spot that week. So
I think so.
Bitch Magnet 9-6, A-Dogs 9-6. A couple of your friends there, Eric Moshan and Aaron Lennon, fighting for that 3rd spot.
But I think those guys are probably. I mean, I'd have to go back and look, but I don't think they look good this week. So they could be 9-8.
Yeah. And Eric's had some problems recently after being on top. Wang and Tang 8-8, winners of 6 straight. Rob Rivera's team.
Who are his key players?
Jeff Garcia had to come in because Matt Hasselback, his keeper, got hurt. He's got Kevin Smith, Ernest Graham. It's a bunch of medium range players, but he has won 6 straight. Kind of like Jenna the Pussycats, who's won a lot with a lot of medium range players.
Is Wang and Tang in my division?
No, this is the other division.
Oh, the other division. The better division.
The better division. And you look, Wang and Tang 8-8. They're probably our worst team in our division, and they're 500. I mean that kind of, and
so I think after this week, I'll be what, 5-2.
Against our division.
Post, yeah.
And then did you check the commissioners? Oh, you haven't checked the commissioners post. You need to, because it does break down the divisional records against head-to-head of the other divisions. And I think you'll open your eyes and say, wow, I'm glad I'm in the division I am. I'm glad I'm in the cupcake division, as Eric called it.
I've already beat you 5 times, your division.
Yeah, my team's beat you all 5 times. I haven't lost.
Not yet.
I don't think I will. Right. I don't think I will. Brew Crew, your old friend Les is 8-8. He's kind of been up and down a little bit too. He's still kind of looking for... He's had a lot of trade offers. Joseph Adiasman out there, Steve Slayton, him, Jake Delone.
He turned me down a couple of trades, so I feel no tough shit for Les.
The Beast has not been able to pull. He hasn't been able to pull that trade. I know he's been talking to Katie, the Divas, Eli Manning, who's on the trade market right now. Katie's been talking to a couple teams I know. Injured reserves, who just got Matt Ryan from you, 7-8. Mikey's been in the playoffs all 3 years. He needs that. That trade has to come through for him. Matt Ryan has to perform for him to have any chance. Your buddy the Normbud, 7-9, getting Romo back finally. That might be able to turn his season around with Marion Barber.
Maybe.